In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a paper cut effect in Procreate. I will show you step by step how to draw this Christmas bulb. Before you start, make sure to download the color palette, my free brushes and free paper textures. They are linked in the description of this video. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to draw more with me, make sure to check out my Patreon. I add their new tutorial every week. Link is in the description. And with all that being said, grab your drawing tools and let's start. Let's make a new canvas, A4 canvas from Procreate. And first we are going to do a top paper, so the one that will have the biggest cutout shape. Let's take the color for this. Take color number 5 and let's pick a brush. Let's go here to calligraphy and take monoline brush. We can set this brush to the highest size, so 100%. And we are going to draw a circle. So draw it like that. Hold your pencil on the screen and now put your finger here to make this a perfect circle. You can make it bigger still like this. Okay. And now let's move it to the middle of the canvas. So let's take the arrow tool. At the bottom I have uniform option selected and snapping turned on. So this way I can move it over here and it will snap to the middle of the canvas. Let's tap here to finish. And now we can draw here the top part of the bulb. For this we want to use a symmetry tool. So let's turn it on. Let's go to the Actions menu, Canvas, turn on Drawing Guide, and now tap on Edit Drawing Guide. Over here let's pick Symmetry, and in the options make sure you have Vertical selected. Let's tap on Done. And let's draw now this top part of the bulb. So let's draw a straight line going up, like this. Hold your pencil on the screen, and you can put your finger here to make sure this is vertical. And now let's draw a line going to the middle, this way. Okay. Now let's color the outside of this shape to create that paper. So just drag and drop the color in here. So now we have here a paper and this shape is cut out. Let's cut out here some more things, but now we'll use here the eraser. So let's take the eraser, let's tap on it again and set it to the same brush, so calligraphy and monoline brush. Now let's make the brush size maybe smaller. Maybe we can make it 59. And let's draw here a shape like this around the top part of the bulb. So something like that. Now we can cut away here a shape of a branch. For this we are not going to use the symmetry tool, so we can turn it off. Let's open the layers. Let's tap on it and turn off Drawing Assist. Let's draw here a line at an angle like this. Stop somewhere here at the top, don't touch the edge of the canvas, and draw a straight line going horizontally like this. You can put your finger here to make this a perfect horizontal line. And now we're going to change the brush to draw the spikes. So let's tap here on the eraser. Let's go here to inking. And we can take here Studio Pen. With the brush size 23, let's draw here some spiky shapes like this. And just close this shape. So like this. Let's draw here also a line connecting now the tree branch with the bulb, like this. Maybe I'll make it thicker. Okay, and now we have to erase here this middle part of the branch. To do it quickly, we can take the selection tool. At the bottom here, let's turn off color fill and pick here automatic. And now let's tap here on the inside of the branch, like this. You can hold the pencil on the screen and swipe it to the left or right to adjust the selection threshold. With this selected, we can go to the Actions menu, Add, and pick here Cut. Everything has been erased here, but let's just zoom in here and make sure there's no small line over here. So just kind of clean up the edges now if you have to make sure this looks nice. So we have here now the basic shape of the first paper. We can add the decorations on this bulb later. Now we are going to add here a paper that will be underneath this one. So let's make a new layer for this and put this layer under the layer number 1 over here. Let's change the color. Take color number 4. And here we are going to draw a circle a little bit smaller than the first one. So let's draw it like that. Hold your pencil on the screen, put your finger here, and let's make this circle like this. Now we can use the arrow tool to place it here in the middle of the first circle, like this. Okay, let's tap here to finish. And let's also add here the top part. For this we can turn on the symmetry tool for a second. So let's open the layers, go to this layer over here, and turn on Drawing Assist. We can draw this part a little bit smaller than that first one. So let's draw it maybe like this. And over here. Okay. We can now draw the branch. Let's start with this top line. So let's draw a line lower than the first one over here. And now let's change the brush to the Studio Pen brush. So let's go to Inking and take Studio Pen. And let's draw this shape following the first one. Just make it smaller. But also we have to turn off here the Drawing Assist. So let's open the layers and turn off the Drawing Assist. Okay, so now let's draw this shape. Okay, and now we are going to color the outside of this. So let's drag and drop the color in here. And we have here this paper ready for now. Let's make a paper that will be under this one. So let's make a new layer and put it below, over here. And let's change the color. Take color number 3. Let's go back to the monoline brush. So go to calligraphy and take monoline brush. And again, we can draw here a circle. Let's make it about correct size. And now take the arrow tool and place it over here in the middle. Okay, let's tap here to finish. And for this layer, we are going to have here only this circle. We can color the rest of the canvas now. Let's make now one more layer. Put it under the one we're just drawing on. Over here. Change the color. Let's take color number 2. And let's draw a smaller circle. Okay, let's use the arrow tool and place it in the middle, like that, and color the outside. And now we have to do one more layer, the one that will be all the way in the back. Let's move it to the bottom here. And this one, we can just color with this one color. Color number 1. Just drag and drop it in here. Okay. Now it's time to add here some decorations on the bulbs. Let's go back to the first layer over here. We'll start with this layer. Let's take the first color we used, so number 5. And we can draw now any decoration that we like. I will start with drawing here a line, an arc going across the bulb over here. So I'm drawing it like this. I'm holding my pencil on the screen to make this a nice arc. And now I can still tap here on Edit Arc and adjust it. When I finish, I can tap with my finger on the screen. Now over here, the top part, I want to create here a shape like this. But to make this a little bit nicer, I'm going to change some settings because my lines are a little bit shaky here. So I'll undo this. And now I can go to the Actions menu, Preferences, Pressure and Smoothing, and I will turn up the stabilization. I will make it here 44, so this way my lines will be less shaky. I will do it a few times until I'm satisfied. So you can also take your time over there. I think I like this one, so I'm going to keep it. And now I would like to also add here a line at the bottom, an arc like this. Okay. And now I'll make the brush size smaller, 35%. And I would like to add here some lines. For this, I will turn on the Symmetry tool. So I can tap here on this layer and turn on Drawing Assist. So I can draw some lines here going from the middle like this. Okay. And I will still add here one arc on top. Maybe like that. Okay, so for me this top layer is finished. Let's move on to the second one. Let's go to this layer over here. Take this color, so color number 4, and we can draw here the decorations. So over here I will draw an arc at the top, like this. Maybe again a smaller one over here. I'll make the brush size 100% again. And I will draw an arc going here across the bulb, kind of like in the middle. And maybe I would like to draw here some arcs. For this, I will turn on the Symmetry tool on this layer. So I'll tap here and pick Drawing Assist. And I will draw them here like that. And maybe still here at the bottom, I'll add one arc. Okay, and this will be enough for this layer for me. So I will go to the next layer, layer number 3. I'll take the color for this. So color number 3. And I will add here some decorations. You can already see that this design is getting a little bit crowded. But let's still try to put here something nice. Maybe I want to add here an arc going here across. This way. And now I want to add here some arcs to the bottom part of this. For this, I will turn on the Symmetry tool. So I'll tap here and take Drawing Assist. And I want to add this here like that. And maybe I will connect this here in the middle, like this. And then draw a line this way. Let's add here something to the top. Maybe let's keep this one simple. So I'll just draw an arc going this way. And now maybe with smaller brush size, 35. I will add 2 more here and 1 more over here. And I think that's enough. So now let's move on to the last layer, layer number 4. Take the color for this, so color number 2. And here, let's keep it very simple. I'll just draw here a line over here. And 1 more in the middle with a bigger brush size. Maybe for this I'll make the brush size 74 and just draw it over here. Okay, and I think that's enough. I don't want this to be too crowded. So our papers are ready now. We can start dropping shadow from them. To do it, we are going to duplicate each layer with the design. Let's start here with layer number 4. Let's swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. Let's take the layer underneath. We want to change the color of this. To do it, we can just tap here, pick select. Now here at the bottom, let's pick color fill and take the color we want this layer to be in. So this will be color number 6. Now when you open the layers, you can see all of this is in a dark color. We can do the same now to layer number 3. Let's duplicate it. Take the layer underneath, tap on it and pick select. It is already changed to that color. Let's take layer number 2 now, duplicate it, take the layer underneath, tap on it and pick select. And layer number 1, let's duplicate it, take the layer underneath, tap on it and pick select. Okay, so now we have all the layers here with the shadows ready. We are going to select all of them. So let's swipe on them to the right, like this. And we are going to move them. So let's take the arrow tool. And now you can move this around however you want your shadow to be. I'll make it maybe in this direction. Okay. Let's tap here to finish. And we have to blur this, so this shadow looks nicer. So now one by one, we'll go to each layer over here, and we are going to blur this. Let's start with the shadow from layer number 1. Let's go to the adjustments, and take Gaussian blur. Swipe your pencil on the screen to the blur size. And let's make this here 7%. We can do the same to the next layer, next shadow. So this layer, let's go to the adjustments, take Gaussian blur and make it 7%. Okay, next one, this one. Let's go to the adjustments, take Gaussian blur and make it 7%. And now one more, this layer. Let's go to the adjustments, take Gaussian blur and make it 7%. Okay, now we can change the blending mode of those layers, so this shadow will look nicer. Let's tap here on this N letter and we can set it to multiply. We can also turn down the opacity, but for now I'll just keep it as it is. Maybe later I will adjust it. So now let's go to the next layer with the shadow. Here, let's set it to multiply. Next one, set it to multiply. And now this one, set it to multiply. So now to make this look more realistic, we can add a thickness to this paper. To do it, we can duplicate the layers again, the layers with the shapes. Let's swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. And we'll take the layer underneath and we are going to make this a little bit brighter. To do it, we can go to the adjustments and take hue saturation brightness. We can make your brightness a higher number. Maybe I'll make it 57. Let's tap here to finish. Let's do the same to the next layer. Layer number 3, the one with the shape. Let's duplicate it. Take the layer underneath. Let's take the adjustments, hue, saturation, brightness, and again make the brightness 57. Next layer now, layer number 2. Let's duplicate it. Take the layer underneath. Go to the adjustments, take hue, saturation, brightness, and let's make the brightness 57. Okay, and the last layer, layer number 1, let's duplicate it. Take the layer underneath, go to the adjustments, take hue, saturation, brightness, and make it 57. Okay, let's tap here to finish. And now we have to move those layers out in the opposite direction that we moved our shadow. So I moved my shadow this way. So now I'm going to move those papers this way. So first let's select all of them, swipe on them to the right, like this. Take the arrow tool. And now I'm going to tap here a few times in the top left corner. And this way you will start seeing here the thickness of the paper. Just do it only a few times so you don't move it too much. If you moved it too much, you can always just take it back by tapping in the other direction. Okay, I think this looks good for me. So I'm going to tap here to finish this. And over here I see that my lines are not so nice. I haven't noticed it before. I'm going to fix it quickly. So I'll just go to those layers. And with the eraser, I'm just going to erase the edges here. So it's this layer. I will turn off the drawing assist here. Okay, and now if you zoom in, especially on elements like this, you can see that this lighter paper is not touching the normal paper. So we can go to this layer over here. It's this one. We can take that color manually. So tap and hold your finger over here. And we can just draw here to connect those, so it looks nicer. Just make sure that you will turn off the drawing assist first. So let's tap here and turn off the drawing assist. Because otherwise you'll be drawing in different places on the canvas too, and it will not look good. I will quickly change your brush to even something smaller, because this one is still too big. So just look all over your illustration and make sure you don't have places like that the papers are not connected. I think that was it for me. So now we can add here a paper texture. Let's import it. Let's go to the Actions menu, Add, and insert a file. And then go to the paper textures that you have downloaded from me. And here today I'm going to use paper texture number 12. Okay, you can tap here to finish this, and we have to put it on top of everything. So let's move this layer over here. And let's change the blending mode of this layer. So let's tap here and set it to linear burn. We can turn down the opacity. I will make it 75%. And now this turned a little bit dark. But I like the effect that it gives us, so we can still adjust it by duplicating this layer and changing the blending mode on the top layer. Let's set this here to overlay. And now as you can see, this got brighter. but maybe it's too bright now, so we can turn down the opacity of this. I will make this one 49. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to add just those 2 paper textures here on top of everything. If you want, you can add different paper textures to each layers. Just make sure that you'll be setting the paper textures as clipping mask to each layer. I think I will still adjust here this opacity. Maybe I'll still make it brighter. So I'll turn down the opacity here. I'll make it 63. Okay, and now in the end, I like to add here some light. So for this, we can make a new layer. And let's put it here under those first papers over here. I like to have the light under this first paper. For this, I'm going to change the blending mode to overlay. And now let's change the color. Let's take color number 7. And let's change the brush. Let's go to airbrushing and take soft brush. Let's make the brush size here maybe like 13. And we can add the light now to the opposite side than we have our shadow. So my shadow is here. So I'm going to add the light over here. Maybe I'll even make the brush size bigger. I'll make it 23. I'll just add it here like that. This way we can brighten this up really nicely and make it look even more 3D. Okay. Now I'll make the brush size smaller to add it over here. I'll make the brush size here 10% and I'll add it just a little bit here, like that, and also over here, just a tiny bit. Okay, now we can adjust the opacity. I will make it here 84. And now we can see the difference with the light and without the light. Just up here to see. And then you can decide still on the opacity, or if you like it or you don't like it. I will turn down the opacity still a little bit. I'll make it 74. And I will turn down the opacity of the shadow layers. Maybe they are a little bit too strong. So I'll just go over here to this shadow layer. And I will make it here maybe like 83. Now next shadow layer. Next one. Same. And this one, the last one. Again, something around 83. Okay. And now this illustration is finished. We can just turn off this drawing assist line. So let's go to the actions menu. Canvas, and turn off drawing guide. Okay, so this is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you can share your drawing with me on Instagram. I would love to see it. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!